Charlotte Flair could be on her way back to WWE sooner than expected, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also see the latest on Naomi, Seth Rollins, and more. Let's start things off with a brief update for Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair was written off of television with a storyline injury following her WrestleMania Backlash match with Ronda Rousey. Charlotte lost that "I quit" and hasn't been on WWE television ever since. Thankfully, it was strictly just a storyline injury, and Charlotte was not actually hurt herself in any way. She was written off for her wedding and honeymoon hiatus. Charlotte Flair and Andrade's wedding took place a few weeks ago. Charlotte and Andrade just finished up their honeymoon as well. Andrade has already made his return to the ring in AEW, so how about Charlotte's return to the ring? Charlotte Flair is being advertised for WWE shows in July, so it's a very good sign that she'll be written back onto television within the next few weeks. Which is a surprise to everyone because most fans were expecting Charlotte to come back around the fall. But it looks like it's a short hiatus and she could be ready in time for SummerSlam. What does Charlotte Flair do when she returns? Well, Ronda Rousey took the title from Charlotte Flair without technically pinning or submitting her. So maybe Charlotte uses that argument as a way to get another big rematch with Ronda Rousey. Maybe Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey can happen again at SummerSlam with Ronda Rousey finally getting the pinfall victory over Charlotte. It would just be so out of the character for Charlotte Flair to return and not have her eyes on Ronda and the title. She suffered that storyline injury from Ronda Rousey and lost her title to Ronda. It only makes sense for Charlotte to come after Ronda one last time, but we'll have to see what goes down there with that return. So let's get into the latest with Sasha Banks and Naomi. Still not much has been happening here besides the reports that this situation has been turned over to lawyers and attorneys. But there is an update from Naomi's side at least. So, as everyone heard a million times by now, WWE's plan was for Sasha Banks and Naomi to both get involved in the world title scenes. Sasha Banks facing off against Ronda Rousey and Naomi taking on Bianca Belair. Sasha Banks and Naomi wanted no part of these singles world title matches because it takes time away from them growing their story and reign as tag team champions. Some fans speculate that it may go deeper than that, especially with Ronda Rousey, since Ronda did come in at the last second and steal Sasha's WrestleMania 38 spot against Charlotte Flair. So maybe there's a deeper background reason to why they turned the matches down, but of course it's all speculation, no one knows for sure. But with Naomi and Sasha turning down WWE's ideas for the both of them to become #1 contenders for the world titles, WWE had to move on and find someone new to face the two women's champions. Bianca Belair ended up facing Becky Lynch and Asuka at Hell in a Cell, and will be now facing Rhea Ripley at Money in the Bank. Ronda Rousey didn't have a match at Hell in a Cell, but a new #1 contender has been crowned with Natalya. So it will be Natalya versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's title in the immediate future, possibly at Money in the Bank. So WWE posted the tweet that Natalya was the new #1 contender for Ronda Rousey's SmackDown Women's title, and a WWE fan responded to the tweet with a gif of Adam Sandler saying, "That's BS." So the fan probably wasn't happy with Natalya becoming the new #1 contender. But the more insane part about that tweet from the fan was that it was legitimately liked by Naomi's official Twitter account. The fan didn't tag Naomi or anything. The fan was just simply replying under WWE's tweet. So it looks like Naomi was scrolling through the comments under WWE's post herself to see some of the fan reactions. And when she came across the fan's post that called the outcome BS, she hit the like on that tweet. Everyone knows how Twitter works. If you hit like on a tweet, you're basically co-signing and agreeing with whatever the tweet says. So in this case, Naomi is pretty much calling Natalya being the #1 contender flat out BS as well. So why did Naomi like this tweet? What is she really trying to say by calling Natalya being the #1 contender BS? No one really knows. Maybe she's still upset from all the details from the walkout and how WWE upset her. Or maybe she just doesn't agree with Natalya getting a title match. Maybe Naomi wanted to see that title opportunity go to a younger talent. It's hard to see what Naomi was trying to say by liking that tweet, but the only thing that seems for certain is that Naomi isn't happy with a Ronda Rousey vs Natalya match at all. But outside of that liked tweet, not much has been going on lately for Sasha Banks and Naomi. Like we've been talking about for weeks, WWE's stance on the situation appears to be clear. They're not going to fold or go crawling and begging back to Sasha and Naomi for them to return. WWE is taking a real "we don't need you" sort of stance with the Sasha and Naomi situation. So if they're ever going to step back foot inside of the WWE ring again, it would appear that Sasha and Naomi need to make the first big move, because it doesn't appear like WWE will make that first move to smooth things out at all. So no one knows what's happening next. It doesn't appear like WWE would allow Sasha and Naomi's contracts to just peacefully expire and let them ride off. It definitely seems like they're going to do everything they can to figure out this in court, as it's now being turned into a big legal situation. Fresh off his amazing trilogy with Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins is getting a lot of praise for his work, both in the ring and as a character. Seth Rollins was on top of the world as a babyface in 2019, knocking off Brock Lesnar and being Universal Champion. Where Seth's babyface run went off the rails was when WWE forced and rushed a storyline between The Fiend and Seth Rollins. After just one match in WWE, The Fiend was already booked to challenge Seth Rollins for the Universal title inside Hell in a Cell. That main event match of a pay-per-view ended up being a no contest, and no one was pleased about it. The fans were upset, and it ended up hurting both Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt's momentum. After The Fiend eventually captured the title, Seth Rollins was a bit lost in the shuffle, and the fans even started turning on him. So WWE embraced the fans' reaction and decided to turn Seth Rollins heel. That led to the creation of the Messiah Seth Rollins persona. Seth Rollins would carry the Messiah persona throughout all of 2020, but when he returned in 2021, he had another big character change. He was no longer a cult-like leader. Now, he was a bit of a Joker-like character that played a lot of mind games with his opponents. He had a great story with Cesaro at WrestleMania 37, and what really took Seth Rollins into that next level was his feud with Edge. Despite losing a majority of the matches in that feud, Seth Rollins still stole the show with his character work and the mind games that his character displayed. Seth Rollins even broke into Edge's house during that storyline, showing just how far his character's willing to go to mess with his opponents. Then, Seth Rollins once again stole the show with his feud with Roman Reigns, which was something that fans were waiting on for a long time, and it definitely delivered storyline-wise. Seth was the biggest threat to Roman Reigns since he was so close to Roman for all those years in the Shield. Seth even made his Royal Rumble entrance with the Shield music, Shield gear, and walking through the crowd, which was another insane moment. Then, the Cody Rhodes feud right after. Seth Rollins lost all the matches against Cody Rhodes, but the story and mind games of all the Triple H references in their matches, the Dusty Rhodes ring gear, giving Cody praise for his performance, only to beat him down moments later. All of the mind game details like that have been great from Seth. So despite being on a losing streak in these matches, Seth's work has been incredible as of late. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.